Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Aditya Dieva. I am student of English Education Department in State Islamic University Alauddin Makassar. So, in this video, I will discuss about general rules of word stress. General rules of word stress that should be used by English learners as a foreign language or second language for improve English pronunciation. And we have and there are 8 general rules of word stress. So, first is 2 syllables nouns and adjectives. The general rule as an English word is a noun or an adjective. Noun is a word used to identify a person, thing, place, or abstract quality. And adjectives is a word used to give information about a noun and has 2 syllables. Noun or adjectives has 2 syllables. The stress is mostly placed on the first syllable. Take a look at the following example. We have noun, word, language. Language. This word have 2 syllables, lang and which. And the stress is mostly placed on the first syllable. So the stress is in the first syllable, lang, language. Lang have stress, language. The stress is mostly placed on the first syllable. Next word, water. Water, water. This word have 2 syllables, water, water. And first syllable, the stress is mostly placed on the first syllable. Water, water. And next word, people. People, people. People, 2 syllables. People, people. And the stress is placed on the first syllable. People have stress. Have a stress. People. So the mostly placed on the first syllable. Next, in adjectives, we have word little. Same, have 2 syllables, little. And the stress, little. Next word, happy. Happy, 2 syllables, happy, happy. And then stress, 4 syllables, happy, happy. Next word, special. Special have two syllable. Special, special, special. The stress in mostly placed on the first syllable. Spatial, spatial. But this rule has an exception as well. For noun, hotel, hotel. The stress is placed on the second syllable, and for adjectives, word extreme, extreme. The stress is placed on the second syllable. Stream, stream, extreme. So this rule have an exception. Okay, we are going to the second rules. Is two syllables, verbs and prepositions. When an English word is a verb or a preposition, has two syllable, the stress is mostly about 80% put on the second syllable. Yes, the stress is mostly about 80% put on the second syllable. Look at the example. For verbs, word believe, believe, believe. This word, two syllables, and the stress is the second syllable. Believe, believe. Next, have a word inspire, inspire. Inspire have two syllable, and the second syllable is placed on the stress placed on the second syllable. So there are of course exceptions to this rule as well, in which few English verbs occasionally have stress on their second syllable. For example, in word welcome, welcome. Welcome is the have two syllable, and the first and the stress is placed on first syllable. And then a word happen, happen also have two syllable, and the first and the stress is placed on the first syllable. Happen, happen. And then two syllables, preposition have stress on their second syllables. For example, in word between, two syllables, and then the stress is the second syllable, between. For example, is about, about have two syllable, and then the stress is placed on the second syllable. About. So next, we are going to the third rules, such as words which are both a noun and a verb. Words which are a noun, both a noun and a verb. If the word being used serves as a noun, the stress is then placed on the first syllable. However, if the word function as a verb, the stress falls on the second syllable. Therefore, English learners need to know how to put the stress in English, how to put the stress on the syllable like that are relatively common in English and tend to cause misunderstanding in the interlocutor. And because of the spelling of the same words but different meanings. For example, in the word prison, if word being used serves as a noun, the stress is placed on the first syllable, prison, so it's noun. However, if the word function as a verb, the stress is placed on the second syllable, present. The stress is placed on the second syllable. Different meaning, but same words. Next, we are going to the fourth rules. We have 3 syllables words ending in or li. If the words ending is or li, the stress is commonly placed on the word first syllable. For example, in words ending in words officer have 2 syllables, and then the stress is placed on the first syllable, officer. Next, for example, words in ending li. Words family. The stress is placed on the first syllable, family. But this rule has exception as well, in which the stress is on the second syllable. For example, if for a word ending in adapter, the stress is placed on the second syllable, adapter. And then example for word ending in li, sincerely, surely. The stress is placed on the second syllable. has an exception. Okay, next rules. Next rules is words ending in ik, sion, and tion. As we want to articulate words of English ending in ik, sion, and tion, the stress is commonly placed on the second to the last syllable of the word. All we need to do is to count the words syllables backwards and to place the stress on the second syllable to the last one, from the last one, sorry. So place the stress on the second syllable from the last one. For example, in word ending in ik, in word linguistic. So linguistic, the stress is the second syllable, linguistic. So linguistic have a stress, sorry. And then next, for example, in word ending in tion, in word discussion. When articulate discussion, the second syllable have a stress. Discussion. Next, for example, in word ending in tion, in word differentiation. So the stress in the word placed on the second syllable from the last one. So differentiation. So differentiate have a stress. Differentiation. Okay, next we have rules. The 6 rules is words ending in C, T, P, G, and Al. When we are going to pronounce word ending in C, T, P, G, and Al, the stress is usually put on the third syllable to the last one. For example, in word ending in C, word consistency. So the third syllable to the last one is cis. So cis have a stress if going to pronounce this word consistency. Cis have a stress. The third syllable to the last one. Next, for example, in word ending in T, in word responsibility, the third syllable to the last one is bill. So when pronounce this word, we must have a stress. We must put on the third syllable. Responsibility. Next, example for word ending in P. For example, word geography. So geography, when pronounce this word, Geography. So geography. So the stress is placed on the third syllable to the last one. Geography. O have a stress. Next, in for example, in word ending in g. For example, word technology. When pronounce this word, the stress we must put on the third syllable to the last one. So technology. Now have a stress. Next is word ending in al. For example, in word professional. When pronounce this word, we must place the stress is placed on the third syllables to the last one. So professional first have a stress. Professional. But have exception for word ending in al. The primary stress is apparently not placed on the third syllable of the word, but on the second one from the last. Like word experimental. We have stress on the second one from the last. Experimental. Men have a stress. So that is the exception of rules word ending in al. Next, the 7 rules. Compound nouns made by 2 nouns. A compound words is a combination of 2 or more words, which indicates a single unit of meaning. And refer to people, place, things, or ideas. Like noun and noun, like bus and stop. Bus stop. Noun and noun. Bus is noun, stop is noun. Or adjective and noun. Adjective like full and moon. Full is adjective, moon is noun. So most compound nouns have the word stress on the first word. Like and there are 3 kinds of compound nouns. First is word stress in solid compound nouns. For example, word key and board. Keyboard. So if we use combination keyboard, the stress is the first word, keyboard. So key have a stress if you combination this word. Regarding this rule, we may note that the stress placement is not always on the first word, first syllable of the first word of the solid compound nouns, as the example, like keyboard. But the stress might be placed on the second syllable of the first word. For example, policeman, police and man. And then if you combination if you combine this word, policeman, the place of the stress is the second syllable of the first word. So police. The second syllable in police is lis. So policeman. Lis have a stress. Policeman. Police. So that is the first kind of compound nouns. The second is connected or hyphenated compound nouns. Hyphenated compound nouns. For example, in the word self and control, the place of the stress is in the first word. So self have a stress. Self-control. If you combine self and control, self-control. So self have a stress. One exception found to this rule is when the word of compound noun is made of between adjective and noun. Like word great sister. That the stress is sometimes placed on the second words that is on the noun. Great sister. So the stress is sister. The stress placed on the second word. Great sister. Third kinds of compound nouns is space or open compound nouns. For example, in word football and player. So when you combine football player, football must have a stress, but in the first syllable. So football player. So foot have a stress. The first syllable on the first word have a stress. Next, we are going to the last general rules of word stress is compound adjectives and verbs. A compound adjective is formed when two or more adjectives are merged together to give detailed information to the same noun. In most compound adjectives, the stress is placed on the second words. So the stress placed on the second word. For example, in word stress in open compound adjectives, or easy going. If you combine this word easygoing, so the stress placed on the second word. So going have stress. Easygoing. There are two types of compound verbs, such as prepositional verbs and phrasal verbs. Prepositional verbs, when using this kind of words, we put stronger stress on the preposition. For example, in word come and in. If you combine the stress is have in the preposition. So come in have a preposition, have a stress. A phrasal verb. In English, this type of word is usually articulated by placing the primary stress on the second or on the last of the word. For example, in the word test drive. So drive have a stress in first syllable or the second, the last part of the word, like drive, drive, dry have a stress. Okay, I think that's all that I can explain in this video. I do apologize if there are have a problem in this video, especially in me explain the material. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.